What's up, guys, and welcome back. Today is a gorgeous day. We're back here and we're going to be working on a couple things today. The goal is to get the roof on this porch, to get all of this steel up here done and the steel down low done so that we can basically have this wall wrapped up. The guys were able to tear off the steel that is on the back wall, which we've been kind of fighting that mud and stuff. You can see this is looking pretty good. We got some shutter details to put on and that's done. And so now we've got wrapped around the corner. Got to do some corner trims here, but that's ready to go. So what we're going to be putting on this roof is 5/8 zip. This is the tongue and tongue. So if you look really closely here, you've got these tongues. It's just on the long 8-foot sides. And that is basically going to give us our gap needed, so we'll push them tight. It's good stuff. Nice and structural. If you guys remember the Jimmy Diresta build, that's the product we use. The orange, or the brownish looking stuff is the 5/8, the green's the 7/16, and I like to have a minimum of 5/8 on the roof, especially when you're using screwed fasteners. So we're gonna get going on this and see how that zip wall goes up. It's actually zip roof, but you get it. Well, before we go ahead and put our sheeting on here, we're gonna put some hangers on these rafters just to help aid in any sort of settling on the wall, even though I don't think that's gonna happen, but I think it's a great insurance policy anyway, and probably what we should do. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get the face good, and then we'll make the end good. Okay, bring it my way a little, right there. It's really good, Greg, until about 6 foot, and then it goes out there just a hair.
On the fascia?
We're gonna be able to move this.
Probably.
Yeah, so let me pound this.
With my strength.
Oh, with your strength.
No.
With your strength and my smarts, forget about it.
If I was actually there, Thor snapped his finger.
Wait, Thor snapped his fingers?
Pretty legit, dude.
You say that.
I say that and to pop the nail out.
Some legends.
Better than using a pressure run all day, right? What the?
I don't know what's going on. WTH, man. So finally a chance to use this 21 degree. It's a round head, full round head nail. And I thought it was a great application here with some zip sheeting, which definitely the zip sheeting, this is a 5/8 tongue and tongue. Dude, it will make the stiffest roof ever. I mean, short of tongue and groove, which we did that out at the Diresta job. And I don't recommend doing that on a post frame. That is a ton of work. Greg, you got a nail popped out.
Yeah, I know.
Get it, bro. All right, let's go.
I'll wait.
All right. Now, what I always try to do is use the sheeting to straighten out our fascia. You know, when we do our steel roofs, we use the steel to straighten it out by pushing and pulling it and kind of always keeping that 1.5 inch reveal on it. Well, with the sheeting, all I try to do is make...
Staple.
What?
That staple.
Oh yeah, that was gonna kill me.
Yeah, cut your hand right off.
Yeah, packaging staple. I try to just always line up my sheeting with the face of my fascia. Grab my square here. And then even if it's perfect up there, that doesn't mean anything to me. Greg, take it uphill, bro.
Alright.
So we're just gonna spread it. We're gonna make sure that the face, keep going. Right there.
There we go.
Right there. Now bring it back. So I don't want to burn through my nail hole too deep, but even if you do penetrate the surface, it's actually okay. Zip is a pretty amazing product. You're all good? Money, dude. These guys, we're going to transition we'll transition now. So it's nice, we do have the bump fire and 1-2 speeds. Now don't worry, Dewalt's not paying me to talk about this. I don't know if I even like it yet, but
It's nice it doesn't have a cord.
it's nice that it doesn't have a hose up here for us to trip on. So, all right, dude, let's bring another one. So what that does is by lining up this bottom on my fascia and making sure everything is tight, I know this zip sheeting is like square and engineered. Now, something to note is that when we built this porch, we made sure that our end rafters were perfect. Then we strung a line through all these other rafters and cut them exactly where we wanted them. The reason is that a post frame, and I think I've talked about this, it can be as straight as possible at the bottom,
Straight
where
as
you
eggs?
step. Huh?
Straight as eggs.
It can be straight as eggs on the bases and at the truss line when we do our roof steel. However, on a 16-foot wall, there could be some movement in and out because lumber's not perfect. So what we do is where we attach all these rafters, we do our best, we do all the measuring, we make sure it's as good as possible, but we can still be off just a little bit on our rafter tails. We like to run 2 sheets of plywood, which is 8 foot at a time. That gets us from tail to tail. We know we're perfect, and then we straighten that fascia out in the middle. Why does it do this all the time? Dewalt, you're losing me here. I thought it was cool at first, but then it works just fine. I don't know. All right, now this could be the nails. I don't know. We're using Hitachi nails, which I love the Hitachi nails. You good?
I think I'm good, yep.
It doesn't fit a full 2 strips at a time. It will fit the full 2 strips the first time, but the safety fire where you're out of nails, it still has like 4 nails in there, which means I can't quite fit 2 full nails plus those safety nails that are stuck in the magazine while you're trying to fire. So that's kind of annoying. It should either be a little bit smaller to make it more compact or just a hair bigger. You know what I'm saying? What?
Oh, it looks like there's like they're like overlapping or something there.
Yeah, that's I think where a problem comes into too. It could be the nail problem. See, I don't know, man. I ain't got time to pull my hammer out all day, Greg. When it works pretty well. What the? What? All right, Dewalt, going to the dumpster. We'll at least use it a whole day and see how much you like it or not. You know, I think Hitachi has a 21 degree. Why don't I have that?
You asked for it?
No, I don't ask for tools. Tool Life chose me. You're high, aren't you?
No.
You sure?
Yep.
Look down underneath there, just confirm me. Huh?
You know, a little high.
Looking pretty good, my friend.
Like a bag of money.
It's looking straight as eggs.
Straight as eggs. And what is the definition of straight as eggs?
I don't know.
To our good friend JJ Hazzy. Straight as eggs is when you go to the county market and you
Take it uphill big time.
you open up a dozen eggs or 18 eggs or however many eggs you're getting,
Yeah.
and they're all in a row. And it's straight.
That's really the...
That's the definition.
Take it down. Yep. Hey.
So you want to get
What?
right up. So you want to get 2 of them in a row.
Yeah, I do. But I want you to mark it.
Oh, let me mark it, dude.
Oh.
What the?
What?
What are you doing,
This nail gun. God have mercy on my soul, bro. Dewalt, you're lucky that I'm even using this still. You can see the nails sitting in there. So now I take 2 strips. I can't shoot anymore, the safety's on. And look at this last strip, just so close, but it won't work. That is super annoying too. Ah! That is dumb.
You know how nice it is to water?
Dude, it's solid, ain't
Why
it?
don't you sheet all of it?
Like the whole roof?
The whole roof.
I mean, we could if somebody wants to pay for it. Nobody wants to pay for that. Hey, if you're a customer and you're watching this, understand that it costs more money to sheet a roof before we put steel on it, but wow, it makes a difference. I would say it makes it, I don't know, probably a forever roof system?
These sheet will probably use standing seams then also.
Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
Hey, it shot, dude.
Nice.
Woo! We're figuring this out, man. Oh my God! Honestly, it's like uber annoying. Dewalt probably wouldn't like me much, but I'm about ready to throw this sucker across the yard, and I'm gonna Instagram it, take it uphill.
But I can throw it further than you.
My patience.
Wearing thin. You like cut yourself, you're supposed to like cut off that flap of skin like right
Just do
away.
it right away?
Right away. It's a defense mechanism for your body.
That's because back in the day, when an arrow went piercing through your heart, you just pulled it out and laughed.
It's all right.
It has to be the nails, right?
Well, I don't think you let it wind up enough.
All right, Dewalt, I'm gonna give you another shot.
Oh my God!
What the?
Dude, I don't even think it made it to plywood.
That's so frustrating.
You ever go back and like watching videos like, wow, we're stupid?
All the time. All right, Dewalt, I'll give you another shot. All right, you're pretty good. Way to go. You know, because we only care that our tools are good 1 out of 10.
1 out of 10 at least.
Yeah, this looks like a job to me. Everybody,
Just follow me.
because I need a little controversy. Because it feels so empty without me.
Yeah. Uno más, señorita.
God bless you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's how far it went in.
Yeah, we'll get all those lines snapped up there, and then you can go to town.
Pound town?
Pound town. One thing I like about Zip is it really showcases your line. We'll go 16 to this side of the blade.
Let's do 16.
Because you don't have a full 48 inches, my friend.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, Zach.
It does not do a 14-foot stand out.
I got like 13.
I got like just over 12.
So here's 13.
I mean, I guess like what angle are they doing the stand out at? This would be this, right? Nailed it.
I thought I was pretty damn good, man. That saw is better, I think.
Smoother.
It's hard to say. All right, so with a post frame, you know, with those staggered purlins, we got to rip that top down because it's just easier to run all your sheets, come back, and then snap a line and cut them. I wish I had my track saw track. I left it in the shop when we cleaned the trailer. So now what we'll do is we'll fill in these partial rips that we just did up here at the top, and that's gonna finish off this roof. Once we're done with that, we're good to start putting these trims on and putting some roof steel up, hopefully. But I think we might hold off, do all this detail work, windows, finish this house wrap that got ripped off, and maybe lay out our steel, then we'll come back and we'll run our roof steel exactly to line up with the ribs on our wall steel.
Our building's commented on a post you tagged in.
I didn't post in anything.
2 minutes ago when you were in the trailer.
I don't know if there's any, you know, rules about like running your ups and downs first and then your sides, but
I thought it was the long ones first and then the, or maybe it was the short ones first and then the long ones, because the long ones then kept like the short. I don't know. I thought there was one way that was.
I think our roof's a little bit different here, where almost all of them are vertical.
All I know is I ate too much Taco Bell.
I ate just the right amount, man.
Every time I bend over, I just want to eat it again, you know?
Probably the most important thing about the zip sheeting, and if you've ever worked with it, you probably already know, is the tape system. It's basically what seals off this panel, because once I apply this tape on all these joints, that's it. This panel becomes a full weather-tight system. We're just gonna put our steel directly on top of this, and it's a nice structural system. I mean, look how nice that looks. Super flat. Now we've got all these windows installed. We've got this zip sheeting down and it's all taped off. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put our transition trim. That's right over here at the top. So that's what's gonna go down underneath our side steel, and it's gonna kick out over top of our roof steel. And then there'll be a closure that we'll tuck in there. But for now, we're just gonna do that so that we can run all of our side steel up and not have to walk on the roof steel. So what I'm gonna do is come in here and I'm gonna find out where my roof planes in. I'm gonna make a mark right there so I know exactly where this roof sheeting planes into my wall. Then I'm gonna make a mark 5 inches up. We'll come down here to about the middle of the building, and we'll make another mark. I always find it easier to take my tape measure and just make it at a inconspicuous 10 inches. And then I know if I want 5 inches, I just go to 15. It's always easier than trying to line up with the tip, in my opinion. I'll go ahead and snap a nice crisp line. Let's see if we can trip over this line. And then that's where we'll put our trim to. Now I know that this trim, I'm gonna have to do some detail work later on, but for now I'm just gonna leave it 6 inches long, and then I'll kind of wrap it around the corner. So now that's gonna go right around this outside corner. My other trims will come right down and flash all that nice. And it's as easy as lining it up with my snap line. I try to keep my nails high, just in case. And you can see that's not tight because we're gonna put our steel ribs underneath this, which are about 7/8 of an inch. It should plane in perfectly if we did our job right, and we'll make a nice lap here. Well, that's awesome. We got this steel up here done, the windows installed. We got all of our zip decking down, which is super awesome. And this trim detail done here at the roof line. And that's gonna allow us to put our roof steel up underneath of that and line up with our ribs on our wall. I know I'll be spending most of my time here on this detail. I'm not a fan of when they just end a overhang on the side wall right there. So I like to always extend it up into the end wall, makes it kind of wrap around nice. It does add a ton of detail work. This is going to start to come together, and then the final push will be the end wall that's up over top of that garage. So you can see the customer had all that shingles tore off, so we'll be putting the burnished slate steel up on that, and then he's going to paint all these trims and side lumber to match. And this is where I'll be spending a lot of time probably the next couple days, is getting all these details figured out. So thanks for following along, guys. Hope you're enjoying the build series, and make sure you hit that subscribe button if it's something you're enjoying, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Nice, bro.